Nuilan, Sk'aliCh'elh, Sk'aliCh'elh Senesnet. Welcome, my respected friends and relatives. Today we are here to honor and to send love on our late hereditary chief, Sk'aliCh'elh. We're going to share a video so you get to know him a little more and you'll begin to love him like we do. Sk'aliCh'elh.
I was raised with lots of old people. I knew lots of old people in my day. And they talked about Sk'aliCh'elh. Achansasan, it's a Flumitosan Kalat. Gansa Salo, Quanasanatachal, Tutsanatalk. The Achansatsashwiam, it's a Sk'aliCh'elh. Chaskino, he's Chashwiam, it's a Flumitosan. An elder came to my house. He came right in, he sat down. I come to tell you a story of your people. And he said, you remember this now, the story of Sk'aliCh'elh, the blackfish or the killer whale. And it's a long story, but they come from the people that live under the water. And a young man went down and he saw the people that lived under the water. But everything in creation are all our brothers and sisters and our relatives. That's why we have to respect everything. That's why we give thanks to everything that we eat, everything that we do, because we all know that they come from people at one time, and they're our relatives. Sk'aliCh'elh was taken away off to Florida, and it's kind of like our people. When the government and the church came in, they took our children away to parochial and government schools. And they tried to take away our culture, our history, our language, our values, and our families. So she's in the same situation as our people. She has that, like he's saying, that historical trauma that we all live through and that we all carry every day. But we need to strive to maintain our identity as to who we are as a people and how we're related to Sk'aliCh'elh. I really feel bad for her. I watched the video as she cries. Really makes you feel bad to see her crying to people. All we're trying to do is help her. It's not only Lummi Nation that's fighting to get her back. There's a lot of other people that are helping all along the way. Are willing to step forward and help get her here. So, with these few words, I just wanted to share with you, Sk'aliCh'elh.
Sk'aliCh'elh. Freddie created that video of our late Sk'aliCh'elh. It is so beautiful. We love that the love for him shows through in that. Sk'aliCh'elh. I want to just say a few words about our late Chief Sk'aliCh'elh. He was our hereditary chief of the Lak'tamish people. He loved us. He was a teacher to all of us and a master weaver. He taught us to honor, protect our sh'elang and our way of life. Sk'aliCh'elh taught us that it was our Wahalatin, our sacred obligation, to protect our sh'elang, our way of life, our sacred sites, all of our relatives that live in Wallonie, the Salish Sea. It was part of his life work to restore the health and life of Wallonie, the Salish Sea. Sk'aliCh'elh taught us that Sk'aliCh'elh and orcas are our relatives that live under the waves. He said when they took Sk'aliCh'elh, it was the same as when they took our children away to residential Indian boarding schools where there was no culture, no teachings, no family, no traditions. He said it was time to bring her home, time to bring her home to her family. He said, you heal Wallonie, the Salish Sea, heal the salmon, heal Sk'aliCh'elh, Yorkas, and we will heal our people. Sk'aliCh'elh is still guiding us as he now walks with our ancestors. They're clearing Sk'aliCh'elh's way home, clearing her path. I want to say hi to my brother Ray Morris, who took a lot of these individual photographs of our late Sk'aliCh'elh at the paddle. I also just want to close that I love and respect him and knows he still guides us. Yamastet and Sk'aliCh'elh. Take care, my friends and relatives. Love you.
Hey, Sam. Thank you. My relative, I appear to be having some technical issues. Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are around the world. Thank you for joining us here with Tokitae TV. It's our Sk'aliCh'elh Tenaut Talk here every Sunday at 1 p.m. Just as a programming note, please remember next week is we'll be honoring water around the world and asking each of you to do your own water blessing. We'll be here next week at 12 noon Pacific time, Salish Sea time, as we will bring water blessing ceremonies to you from Hawaii, from Maui to Miami, and all throughout the Salish Sea. So next week on March 20th, Sunday at 12 noon, we'll start an hour earlier for our friends around the world. But again, hi, Ska, to each and every one of you. We'd like to thank all of our panelists. Thank you, Annette, for producing today's Tokitae TV. I guess we will pass it around the world here, and we'll go and talk with Alejandro. Alejandro, we see you're still out and there at the Miami Aquarium. And of course, we're hoping for the best for our relative Lolita, Sk'aliCh'elh, Tokitae. What can you tell us?
Yes, thank you everyone for having me here, give me these opportunities. Just today we have a special visit. We have a group of children just came to in support of Lolita. I shared some pictures about the parking lot. Even I did a streaming of Facebook Live. We can see the business, the parking lot is empty. And now no more Joe. So they closed the Miami Aquarium at 5 p.m. But what made me feel happy is like the parking lot is empty. Many people knows the story now about Lolita. So I think we're gonna have a lot of support. I hope that everyone in Miami will get involved, helping Toki in the journey of going back home. This is a group of children supporting Lolita, and it was so broke my heart, seeing them singing, just they said free Lolita. They know she was captured when she was a baby, 4 years old. You know, they know the story. They know the truth. They know the truth now. You know, they never said the truth. Always they have hide the truth. But now everybody knows the truth. She wasn't born in captivity. She was captured in 1970. Okay, so I think we will achieve it. You know, so we have to keep going. I'm gonna thanks to the commissioner Raquel Regolado. You know, going and visiting the Miami Sequarium, just sharing with us a video of she shows me she has enough strength. You know, she's still have a lot of energy, and I feel she will make this journey successfully.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely wonderful.
Hi,
Yeah, thank you, Alejandro, live in Miami. And while we're in Miami, why don't we go to Lawrence Curtis, our world famous underwater cinematographer who's been doing some phenomenal work with Nat Geo. Lawrence, we know you're home in Miami. It's good to see you, brother. You're muted, bro.
Technology. Good to see you too, brother. Good to see all these beautiful smiling faces and know that there's a whole group of ocean warriors that are watching today. Alejandro, that's fantastic. I really was going to try and make it down there today. But your diligence is incredible. And on the note of children getting involved, it really is so crucial. They're the ones that are curious. They're the ones that ask questions to the parents when they are either taken there or they've heard of the story. I know this was maybe about 5 years ago now. There was a school in Hollywood, Florida that got aware of this through one of the students. Her name's Bella Cordero. Isabella Cordero. She's going to hate it if I mispronounce her name.
No, Ribe.
But she took it upon herself to involve her whole school in creating banners. And she's now actually a senior in high school now and still charging the cause. But the point is that it plants the seed at a young age, and they continue this path and journey of awareness for the rest of their lives. There are so many things that we see that's happening now that is so exciting. And to me, I look at it, I guess, in a philosophical sense of how it really is transcending us to speak and listen with our hearts to all people, all things, all life. As you guys know, I was off in Baja, Mexico on a film project in an incredible place in all the world. We did see humpback whales off in the distance and sometimes relatively close. Did not have the blessing of seeing wild orcas, but we know that they're there. And when you know that an orca is home, there's something that creates a sense of connection, and it feels right. And I think that's what people are starting to connect with, is that they may hear a little bit about the story of Toki, but they know that it's wrong. And I think with this group in particular, to start rallying people in all of these facets, to have this dialogue and start talking about what can be done, what is being done, but also what does this mean to our own lives? Again, maybe I'm being a little philosophical. I know I'm in a safe group with this, because it is incredibly spiritual when we as a human species can be proper stewards to not just ourselves and all peoples, but all people under the ocean, on the prairies, in the mountains, all life. And this is how we transcend, is correcting these wrongs of the crimes against nature, and how we can then begin this beautiful journey and celebration of we are doing it. This is our time. We are blessed with being on this incredible planet now at this time. And so for all of us to look around and see what needs to change for the better. And again, I'm just incredibly honored to have heard the call and to do everything that I can with an incredible group of, I'll call you all ocean warriors. But I am very, very blessed. So that's me from Miami. Sorry about the mess in the back. It's kind of that, you know, in between work jobs kind of thing. And should I put on my orca costume?
Thank you, brother. Annette, go ahead. You're on mute. Sorry.
We got to have this first.
Listen, I'm not trying to upstage Alejandro, but I mean.
That's so awesome. Thank you, Lawrence. Howard, I don't know how you're going to follow. I don't know how you're going to follow that. But we do want to hear from Howard Garrett next.
You're on mute, Howard.
More high technology. Thank you, Lawrence, for your eloquence and your slapstick. Love it all.
Of course.
I just want to say that I really don't know anything new from a week ago when I posted that complete update on everything that I believed. A lot of it was sort of speculation and you know, whatever news I could offer so that people would feel that they know what's going on. To my knowledge, that's all I know. Still, that nothing has changed. It's still valid, but there isn't anything that I know to report about what is happening at the proverbial table. There are some people there. I am confident, and I understand completely why it takes a long time. You know, 3 or 4 weeks ago, this was all just kind of a dream and a theoretical idea. Okay, we can bring this whale back, and then it became real. And now people have to talk about how it's going to be done. Many different perspectives are coming together, and as Doug James reminds us often, they need to come to one heart and one mind, and that's hard. A lot of different viewpoints and ideas need to be talked about and figured out to be able to have one course of action to bring her back. And I think that's underway. I'm confident, but I'm just saying have some patience because it's going to take a while for everything to get worked out. And I also want to mention momentum is growing. I mean, it's underway. The spirit of the people, the understanding, and the resolution to make it happen is definitely in play here and building. Just today, there was an editorial in the Everett Herald. Everett is just to the east of us. It has a very wide circulation, very highly respected major newspaper. Their editorial board wrote today in their Sunday paper that she should come home. Basically, that bring her home to her home waters here. It was a complete editorial, and it made the case very well. And it also brought out a quote, actually from a Daily Coast blog by our friend David Nyworth, that I think needs to be thought about and talked about. This is like a storm cloud on the horizon that is coming our way that we really need to be prepared for. And there is a very good way to be prepared for it. The quote that was in the Everett Herald today said, I still think that National Marine Fisheries Service would come up with any sort of excuse not to allow it, because it just freaks them out to think there could be something that could happen and that the southern residents are wiped out in a huge disease outbreak because they put Typhoid Mary in the middle of them. That's really dramatic, alarming language. But my point is that should always be followed up immediately by the solution. And there is a solution. And that was demonstrated back in 1998 when Keiko was about to go back to Iceland. The same cries of alarm were brought up. And so a team of 6 veterinarians and pathologists were appointed by the USDA to examine Keiko thoroughly for every pathogen known. And they did that, and he was negative on every count, and he was cleared, a nice clean bill of health, and he was then, well, actually, 2 veterinarians came over from Iceland to confirm that because they're very protective of their marine ecosystem around Iceland. So they wanted to be sure. And they were sure. So he did go back to Iceland, and there was no such outbreak. So the same thing needs to be done for Toki. And that has always been in the plans. It's in the current operational plan. She would be re-examined again after she arrives. That can be taken care of. So that cry alarm should be answered immediately by, well, here's what we do about that. And so that it really isn't an issue. Wanted to clear that up so that we're prepared for the storm coming in. And the only other thing that I want to say is to, again, thank Commissioner Raquel Regalado for going to the Seaquarium and for the Dolphin Company for inviting her in with a camera to get a firsthand look at how she's doing. I want to know all the time how she's doing, and it's so hard to get any reliable information or any at all about her health, basically her activity level, and just how she looks. And Commissioner Regalado confirmed that she looks fine. She said she looks to be in good spirits, and she was able to, make a nice big breach and swim around and seemed attentive and look to be in pretty good health. Of course, we do need to have that thorough, independent medical examination just to make sure. But all appearances, all indications are that she is just fine. Unfortunately, there is still this, big belief out there that she is very, very sick. She's in failing health. She is so old. She's geriatric. It would just be so dangerous to move her at all. And I don't believe that's true. I don't believe that she has any kind of, issues that are that pressing on her, that harmful to her, that she would not be able to be transported back to her home waters. So I want to thank everyone here, everyone out there, everyone contributing to this. It's about building that momentum, and we're doing that. And I think we're going to see her come home pretty soon.
That's really true. Thank you, Howard. Our work here at Tokitae TV, our Sk'aliCh'elh Tenaut Talk, we're about educating each and every one of you in a good way. We're live here in the Salish Sea. Our producer, Annette Martinez, is in Albuquerque. And we just heard that was Howard Garrett. Howard, thank you. It's always good to see you. I guess I can call you my elder now. I think we've known each other for a while. But thank you, Howard, for just those few words. When we talk about the health of Tokitae, Lolita, she's better off in her home waters. The Miami waters are not her home waters. She needs to breathe the cedar in the Salish Sea. She needs to be able to smell smell the salmon and smell the sea. And it's, again, we're not just going to throw her back into the water and say, go be with your pod. No, we have a plan. And thanks to the good work with Sk'aliCh'elh and Tomas, who are also here with us. It's good to see you. I guess I can call you guys my elders too. Sk'aliCh'elh and Tomas. Good to see you. Annette?
Thanks so much, Howard, for also mentioning, and you guys are going to hear a theme here. Alejandro said it, Howard said it, I'm going to say it. Thank you to Sk'aliCh'elh Regalado, our county commissioner there in Miami, Miami-Dade. She, I'm so proud of everybody, not just the people you see on the screen, but everybody watching the screen. So many positive comments and thank yous on her Facebook post. And I don't know if you've noticed, but she's liking them, she's hearting them, she's paying attention. The ones she's liking and clicking on are those that are encouraging the independent vet review, saying thank you so much, please keep us posted. So keep the comments coming, keep the positive messages going. It's working, it goes a long way. And speaking of positive messages, before she leaves this service, I'm gonna switch gears here and we're gonna go over to Peggy Oki, who is in Costa Rica right now. Welcome, Peggy.
Oh, thank you. Hello, everybody. And again, thank you for the honor of allowing me inviting me to just give a little update and share about the art letters campaign that we kicked off actually now 2 weeks ago. But I'd like to share some images that Annette and I have discussed. Of course, as Howard said, there's going to be people who are going to be doubters about Tokitae's, Sk'aliCh'elh's ability to return home, her health and all this. And we, anybody who knows Keiko's story, there are some videos out there, and I've just recently been watching some that, for example, Jean-Michel Cousteau had produced some, like a whole series, and there's actually now a full documentary that apparently has been released about the true story of Keiko. And one of the really beautiful stories that's being supported again through what Alejandro shared, from what Lawrence had shared about children, and we all have a child in our heart as well, and to be able to express ourselves with our love through art is such a wonderful opportunity, and it's also one of the most powerful ways to reach decision makers. And I came across, I did a lot of research and found this one article. There's actually quite a few now that I was able to find, but this one is one of the most concise. This is 10 reasons why you should send handwritten letters, and it showed a graphic of literally 5 times more likelihood that a message will be read if it's a handwritten letter versus an email. And so I feel like that continues to support what I've been doing from my heart, which I started doing about 25 years ago, working with children to do art letters, art messages. And so we carry on. And I wanted to thank the friends that have been helping me with my efforts on this art letter, Christina Mully and Michelle Morrow. She's at the Sequarium every Sunday. And she's also been helping me with some of the graphics that we've been posting on Facebook, with the little slideshow videos like the one that we saw last week. And then Annette will play the one that we have. You're all here seeing the pre-release of this newest short little slideshow. And we've been receiving some beautiful artwork, and I haven't even, I'm working on the edits of these images and stuff to go to our next video to promote this campaign. And I wanted to share also that everyone else here, again, is privileged to this preview and announcement that we are extending the deadline we would love everybody to send your art letters as soon as possible. No, please just like go for it, do it. But we will accept up till the 24th. We're working out a plan to send some after the 17th of March, which is this coming Thursday. But also we'll hang in there a little for some other messages. We've got, oh my gosh, this gorgeous a gorgeous collage piece that an 8-year-old girl did for Tokitae and in the Netherlands, and it was like, wow, stunning. So there's beautiful artwork coming in, lots of heartfelt messages, and I just encourage everyone to experience that joy and the opportunity of sending a positive message, urging Eduardo Albor, the CEO of the Dolphin Company, just very politely asking him to make sure that Tokitae Sk'aliCh'elh gets immediate independent veterinary care and to release her so that she can go to her home waters. And I invite everyone to also continue to hold that vision. So thank you very much. Oh, I wanted Annette, can you share that one photo of Ocean Sun? Yeah, the beautiful, so unique of that marking on Ocean Sun saddle patch. And just wanted to share that even though some people might want to say that Keiko's story was a failure, so it's like, no, it was not a failure. And watch these more recent documentaries, such as the one by Jean-Michel Cousteau and his clips, and then this other new documentary, to see that Keiko was, he lived on in freedom. And as far as the case with Tokitae, there will be very similar paths as Howard had described, but we know where her family is. We know that her presumed mother, Ocean Sun, is still alive. And so there's incredible hope for this to be the most successful story so far. And so I just wanted to urge that. And then there's one more meme. And I've been hearing, I'm receiving messages from school teachers and art teachers who have been engaging their students in this letter campaign. And I would like to ask everyone to please think of who you know who's a school teacher and ask that friend if they would like to get their students involved. And all of the information about the campaign, the mailing address and deadlines and talking points and all these things are all put together in a Google Doc. And Annette will play that across the screen as well. Again, thank you, everybody.
That was a really great Bart Simpson photo there. And for those that can't see the screen, it says attention letters. I can't remember.
Attention school teachers.
And it was Bart Simpson writing it 100 times on the chalkboard. Art letters for Lolita, please. Attention school teachers, art letters for Lolita, please, over and over. And but thank you, Peggy. Really good to have you on our 5th episode. If you're just joining us, we're with Tokitae TV. We're Sk'aliCh'elh Tenaut Talk. And today's Sunday, March 13th, 2022. Welcome if you're just joining us, wherever you are around the world. Thank you. Please continue to send your good words and tell us where you're watching us from around the world, your city, state, and your country. Really appreciate it. But Peggy, those letters are just ever so powerful, and we just got to keep up the good work. It's really good to What would you share with maybe a school teacher, Peggy, and some school projects as we get towards the end of the year? What would you share on how we can help keep this awareness campaign for Lolita?
Well, we have a lot of information in the Google Docs, including a link to the website, origamiwhalesproject.org/Lolita, with some video and background. And I'm also working with a wonderful woman, Madison O'Connell, Media by Mads, and we have a video that we're working on as far as release. And that's going to be about Tokitae. And so there's a lot of ways of educating the teachers through these links. And yeah, children love doing this kind of stuff. Like, as I said, I've been doing this, started doing this 25 years ago with campaigns to save the whales and save the creeks and all kinds of things. And it's so wonderful to engage and empower children, know how their hearts are so open in how they care. And of course, there's adults whose hearts are open and they care. And so just all ranges of ages. And yeah, so of course, any school teacher is welcome to contact me if they have any questions. But there's been a few that have already, said, we're working on it. We're going to be sending letters in. And oh, look at that. Oh, Lawrence with origami whales. So yeah. And and I also wanted to acknowledge, along with Madison, there's Sharktopia. There's a lot of us just doing our part, and I know there's a lot of people who are like Ma Noblet and Olamadoni. There's a lot of dedicated people who are sharing on social media and putting things out there and all this wonderful energy. And I just hope that it's going to be very soon. Like I commented on Commissioner Regalato's video that I thanked her, and I said that we're holding this vision. It's holding this vision for Tokitae, Sk'aliCh'elh's health and her return to her home waters very soon to a sea sanctuary. So,
Absolutely.
So thank you, everybody. And thank you, Freddie.
Yes, yeah.
I see a special guest here, Tomas. Put you on the big screen here. Hello. You're on mute. The famous words of, there we go.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. I'm just glad to be here. I did want to say, though, we were talking, I think it was Howard was talking about momentum. I feel that this was a snowball that was placed on top of a mountain, and this giant snowball has now reached the bottom of the mountain. There is so much momentum and so much going right now that it's awesome. It's just to be able to feel everyone's support for her. And I think she feels it. She has got to know how much prayers are being said for her, and just, it's pretty incredible.
Eleanor, I know we just finished a halibut fishery. Are we seeing much of any of the pods out yet? What are you seeing out there?
Not that I know of. I don't think they are. I think it was this time last year they were doing that long trek out on the coast. My son is crabbing down in San Francisco, and it was probably about 3 weeks ago now, they actually saw killer whales off of San Francisco. And our southern residents can go all the way down to Monterey. So they might be out trying to catch some of those spring Chinook headed up the rivers out there. Howard would probably know more about where they're at right now, but.
Yeah, how did the fishermen seem to do? I'm just kind of curious. For those that don't know, our Clackamas people, the Lummi have one of the largest indigenous fishing fleets in the world, believe it or not. But Eleanor, how did the fishermen do on this latest fishery? Just kind of curious.
It was a little slow, which it has been for the last 2 years at least, but there was a decent amount of catches, and that's why we're opening it up again on Tuesday for another 2 days.
And Eleanor, when we want to educate the community, you know, and you and Sk'aliCh'elh at sacredsea.org, you know, we're not just going to throw Lolita in the water, right? We're going to bring her home. We're going to have a big potluck and celebrate for 4 or 5 days. There's a plan.
And finally, in my head, a couple weeks ago, I actually can now envision her in her Lummitalk. I can see her now swimming in that pen in my head, and I've gone past it already. And I'm thinking about how we make sure that she is always provided with the fresh Chinook that we have out here. We have the blackmouth all winter, which is a Chinook too, and how my mind's already trying to figure out how we get our Lummi fishermen to make sure that she has a constant supply of fresh Chinook, because that is what she deserves after having had her diet restricted and after being given rotten fish at the Miami Sea Aquarium. You know, now she deserves the best. And so my head's already, we've got her home. She's already in her Lummitalk out there. And it's now, how do we get our local community involved in making sure we always give her the freshest, best fish?
So true. Next week, we're going to do our World Water Blessing Ceremony. And we're going to be, again, all throughout from Miami to Maui to here in the Salish Sea. Again, that starts at 12 Pacific next week on Sunday, March 20th, 2022. And again, this is in honor of the United Nations World Water Day, which is actually March 22nd. But we're asking some of our friends from Minneapolis and around the world to join us. And if you're not on our show, hey, go live if you could next Sunday at 12 noon, wherever you are. Bring out your medicine people, your pastors, your reverend, your Indian doctors, and your medicine people, and we just want to honor and have a world water blessing ceremony. Jewel James will be my guest tomorrow night on Monday, March 14th. Just as a programming note, if you want to catch up with Jewel and I, we'll have a conversation again. That's on Monday night at 5 Pacific. Annette?
Now you're muted.
We all have to do it once. We do have some questions coming in. I think I know the answer to some of them, but I want to go ahead and post them on here. So let me get to the comment section so I can try to find them. Some folks are saying, what is the next step to bring her home? Again, I think it's getting that assessment, which probably answers a lot of the questions coming in. A lot of people want to know if the dolphin company has agreed to the assessment. Does anybody have the answer to that?
No, as of this date, they have not agreed to an independent third-party vet, but we all continue to ask, including our commissioner, Regalado, and the mayor. So we're hopeful that they will agree, but as of this point, no agreement yet.
Thank you for answering that. Just a comment here. Someone says, glad to see the group is growing. Yes, really happy to have Peggy with us today. And Tomas, you're always welcome, and I hope you can join us every week, but I know that's not always possible. But it's kind of fun to see all these people up here, right? We'll try to have a special guest each week. And Peggy, thank you so much for doing that. Lawrence is doing the Brady Bunch thing. Although he doesn't have his goggles on, so if he wants to talk again, he needs to put his goggles on. Let's see. Here we go.
Well, this is kind of like Hollywood Squares.
Yeah, I'll take
We
Dad foot block.
We could play a game. One game we could play, actually, that I did want to mention is, folks, please don't forget that the GoFundMe is up and running. It's making progress. That's a really good thing. It's good to see it growing this week. Go to sacredseed.org. I'm trying to get over to the brand page now so I can put that back up. But sacredseed.org, if you go on there, one of the very first things you're going to see is the link for the GoFundMe. So I'll put that right here. A couple more questions. Howard, do you know where they are right now? Where are all the pods?
Well, yes, I wanted to follow up because it was pretty exciting 2 days ago. J-Pod, which are the most likely to be around in the inland sea, while K and L pods tend to be out in the ocean along the coast, and we really don't know where they are. But J-Pod was right in the San Juan Islands, in between Orcas Island and San Juan Island, in San Juan Channel, and at the north end of Lopez Island, which puts them 7 miles from the site in East Sound, which is at least the only known potential sea pen site for her. Nothing has been chosen, so it's not there as the place, but it's a good place, and they were 7 miles from that location. And of course, orca calls are like loud sirens underwater. They can travel for 20 miles easily, probably much more. So chances are, they would be within hearing distance of where she might be if she is in East Sound. So I just wanted to bring that out, that, yeah, they're around.
That's great to know.
That's awesome.
Thank you, Howard. Again, hi, Ska, to everybody just around the world. I just wanted to say thank you for joining us each week here with Tokitae TV. We're going to keep this up every Sunday at 1. With exception of next week, we'll be doing our World Water Blessing Ceremony. And our blessing ceremony is in honor of Lolita, in honor of Tokitae, in honor of Sk'aliCh'elh, who was abducted from her family. And we do this to honor the waters of Miami. We know that they aren't the best, like many of our waters throughout the world, and we just want to do this again in a good way. Just a shout out to our friends in New Zealand. I guess it's morning there already, and we got some friends all across the Northwest here, including the North Salish Sea up in Nanaimo. We got friends from the United Kingdom and Indiana. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us in our Tokitae TV here and around the world. Annette?
Lots of questions about her health. A lot of questions about her health. And we want that independent exam as well. So please keep up your notifications to the mayor, to the Dolphin Company, to County Commissioner Regalado. Just keep asking for that assessment. We all want to know as well. And that way we can have a full understanding of where she is and what is the next step. One of the other questions is, will she go in a tank first? So I want to invite you again to go to sacredseed.org to see the plan. But Sk'aliCh'elh, do you want to talk about that?
Go ahead, Sk'aliCh'elh.
She's pointing up to Tomas. So
I could you repeat the question?
People want to know, or somebody wants to know, one of the questions is, will she have to go in a tank first? As you remember, Keiko had to go into, or he didn't have to, but he went into a tank there in Oregon first. So what is the next step? When we find out she's healthy and ready to make the trip, where will she go first?
Well, part of her preparation in our plan includes transitioning her body to the colder water temperature here in the Salish Sea. You know, currently she's been in hot water in Miami and under the sun without shade. So part of her training would be to get her acclimated to the Salish Sea, and depending on her, she'll be our guide every step of the way. She'll tell us what she's ready for and what we need to do for her. But the goal would be that she's healthy enough, she gets acclimated enough, she's ready for transport, and she can go directly into her lummi home here in Wellami, Salish Sea.
Renelle, my understanding all these years has been that they do chill the water in Miami in the tank. I've heard anywhere from 55 to 65 degrees, but Biscayne Bay is more like 80 degrees. So they realize to keep her alive, they need to chill the water. So at least it's not as hot as the surrounding water. So it won't be that big of a transition.
You're correct, Howard, and thank you for saying that. However, what we're concerned about is we haven't been able to look at her historical, medical, and records to know how diligent are they about tracking her water temperature, her water quality. She's in a pretty inadequate tank and stadium. So, but Haishka, for that, you're correct.
And our waters here in the Salish Sea, I went out to the San Juan Islands to do some groundwork for our Clactamish paddle we got on 5/22/22, and the waters seem to be a lot colder, Howard, here in the Salish Sea. It's really remarkable how cold the water. I mean, the water must be what, 40 degrees. It's pretty chilly here in the Salish Sea.
Wow, I don't know.
Could you go out and take the temperature for us out
Okay.
in front of your yard?
I'll go take a swim right now.
Could you go take a swim for us?
We'll stand by. We'll stand by.
Oh, there we go. Come on, Lawrence, suit up.
Come on, Howard. Come on,
I
Howard.
have this and a speed up for you, Howard.
Somebody, Peggy put up a nice, she said, Jean-Michel Cousteau's Ocean Features Society, the virtual film festival. We have it on our screens there if you want to see the true story of Keiko. Keiko was born in Iceland and went back home to Iceland. And though he passed away, at least he was home. And so with the good work that we're doing together, writing your letters, and again, we can only do this together. I'm really glad for those that help contribute to the GoFundMe for Sk'aliCh'elh and Tomas's. It's not cheap, and this is going to take all of us, all of our help around the world, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do this together. And as we come up to our hour here, again, thanking each of you. We're with Tokitae TV. Don't forget, next Sunday is our World Water Blessing ceremony around the world. We'll have Sk'aliCh'elh is going to be up at Cochiacan, And for those that don't know the significance of Sk'aliCh'elh, Tomas and Sk'aliCh'elh both worked in the Sovereignty and Treaty Protection Office at Lummi Nation and fought to protect Sk'aliCh'elh, which is our ancient burial site there of our Clackamas people. But Sk'aliCh'elh, it sounds like your plans are coming together pretty good up at Fort Sk'aliCh'elh.
Hi, Freddie. We're really excited about it. We're working with Deb Cruz, and we're opening it to the public. Our water ceremony event for Sk'aliCh'elh will take place at 10 a.m. at Sk'aliCh'elh, and so we welcome all those that have time and would like to participate. We're reaching out to you. We want to do this in a united way to start the work to stand together, bringing her home. So please join us if you can. Aishka.
And Alejandro is down in Miami, going to be live in Miami, correct, Alejandro?
Yes, I'll be there just helping with this event. We're going to be with the Reverend Tone, right? Helping, yeah. We're going to do the event, so I hope to do everything okay, right? And to get successful. I will be doing a streaming in live. We're going to do a live for the whole event. 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Next Sunday, 20 March.
Absolutely wonderful. Annette?
I think we are good. There are more comments coming in. So if the panel doesn't mind to take a look at the comments on this thread afterwards, if you can answer any of the questions, that would be awesome. But we'll go ahead and stick to our hour and end it here. Lawrence, any final words?
Really just final words of gratitude for all of you today and everyone that's out there that's watching, that whether you're just becoming aware of Tokitae or you've been following for many, many years, the more people that is involved, obviously, the better. So it's like that spark. It's the spark of light that illuminates another one, that illuminates another one, and illuminates everything. We do work collectively. That's the nature of nature. And that's the nature of the human species, is that not just rolling your sleeves up and getting out to work, but also keep that visualization of seeing her home and free. I've always kind of done a lot of kind of undercover work or work of crimes against nature, and it's been depressing. And a few years ago, I started realizing that I was going into a depression because I didn't see the light. I didn't see solutions. And it was literally, here I'm using the light metaphor again, like a switch that just turned on when I started to go, I want the world to thrive. And it just, I can't say in a therapeutic sense or in a medical sense, but it rose me out of a darkness. And when I see people, whether of whatever age, and as Alejandro showed earlier today, the great school group that came out, and I know many school children that have worked in the past and are currently working, and now they're adults, that is empowerment. That is transcendence. And so keep doing what you're doing, everyone. I know there's many, many questions. I know it's always worth repeating again. sacredseas.org, Orca Network. You'll be able to read the plan. You'll be able to see who are the key players. I've been looking through some of the comments here, and it's important that people understand that this is a very dialed in program and has many, many key people involved and people that are getting involved. So rest assured on that point, but there is so much work. And as it was mentioned earlier about a snowball analogy, is that over the course of the last couple of weeks, wow, this is a reality. She's going to go home and we're all going to be there.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Lawrence. We missed you the last couple of weeks. We really, really missed you. So I'm really happy that you're back. Yay.
You're so sweet, Annette. Thank you so much. I missed you guys too. I missed you guys too. I had to take a little bit of a reprieve, so I apologize for missing last week.
We all need that.
As I kind of said just briefly, I'm in this wonderful position and have so many blessings that I can enter the underwater realm and into this kingdom of the dolphins and commune with whales. Whether I'm working there, working under a permit to allow me to have access to that, and then bringing back whatever kind of footage I can. But on a personal side of it, there is knowledge. And it is part of the journey that I've been learning over the course of the last few years. And, you know, I learned how to listen when I was a child, but as a gray bearded man of a certain age, you process it. And when you can listen to what nature is telling you, it's then that gift is up to us to honor it. And so being in the water and how I was out in Baja the last couple of weeks is a lot. It's a lot. And so I want to be a conduit to take that and share it and spread it out.
Thank you
But
so
I've missed
much.
you guys.
Oh, we're glad you're back. Thank you so much.
I wasn't drinking margaritas and sitting on the beach.
Oh, you liar.
One vacation. But it's good work.
Sk'aliCh'elh is waving her finger at you. Sk'aliCh'elh, any final words for our listeners today? Sk'aliCh'elh?
Hi, Ska. I want to just really raise my hands up to all the people that have been continuing to pray and to send their energy of love and support for our Salish Sea daughter. Sk'aliCh'elh needs it more now than ever. And since she's retired, she has the time to heal. So she needs to continue to keep in her heart and in her spirit that she has work to do. She needs to get strong for that journey. And so to me, our part is continue to send prayers, continue to believe, continue to be hopeful, and above all, sending that love to her. Hi, Ska.
Thank you. Tomas, any final words for the viewers today?
Not other than like what Lawrence said, you can't pour from an empty cup. And what I get from looking at all these faces right now, you guys are filling my cup up. I mean, it's that easy, you know, the prayers of everyone, all of this. It fills you back up, and it allows you to keep going, keep fighting the fight. Haishka to everyone.
Yes, Sam. Peggy, you have any final words, Peggy?
I guess I'm reflecting what everyone else is saying, that we've got this wonderful momentum going, and it's the power of love. And I just let's just keep that love rolling and,
Yep.
and keep the art letters coming in, expressing yourselves and sharing how you feel, and you know, approaching Mr. Albor with our hearts and politely asking him. Yeah. And we will move forward.
That's great. It sounds like breakfast is ready. Just kidding.
Thank you.
Howard, final words?
I would only reflect the wisdom that we have heard here from everyone, and also from Chief James, who fills us with such spirit, and also from Doug James, Freddie's Uncle Doug, who in the totem events with the Tokitae totem that went to Miami and back, he would say, the totem is sacred, but also this gathering. This is sacred. Our meeting together, our coming together as one heart and one mind. And I really feel this is happening on a not right here, yes, in this Tokitae TV, but also in the broader picture of all the forces at work, all the minds and hearts at work to make it happen. I think it's coming together. The momentum is there. We're on a roll, folks. Be patient. It's really coming together.
Alejandro.
You're on mute, Alejandro.
You're on mute. Mute.
Oh, do I look like a crazy guy, you know, talking
I
by
was-
myself?
I was reading your lips.
No, the first thing I'm gonna do is just thank you, all of you, for giving me this opportunity, for having me here. Give me hope for still fighting for Lolita, and I'm gonna urge people, I want to encourage people to keep donating for Turkey. And go to the Sacred Sea Land Conservation. I think the page is sacredsea.org or Can Network. Everybody can donate because everything, every cent, every penny, every dollar goes to Lolita. For helping Lolita, goes to Lolita, everything goes to her. So we will achieve it. Keep going. I never give up. Lolita never give up. These amazing people is not going to give up. So we will not stop until she's free and swimming in her home waters with her mother, Ocean Sun, and her family. Haishka.
There's Sam. Deb.
Deb's good. You're on mute, Freddie. Uh-oh, you're still
There I go.
There
doing
we
my
go.
hand gestures, but thank you, everybody. Thank you from East Lummi, I guess. Tomas is at South Lummi, and I think Sk'aliCh'elh is somewhere in between. But we thank you, our friends from Miami to Whidbey Island to Clackamas territory in the North Salish Sea. Annette, you have any final words?
Just what's on the screen, stay positive, don't give up. We will bring her home. And like Alejandro always says, let's go. I read his post and he ends it with let's go. And I'm like, okay, let's go. So yeah, just keep it up, guys. A quick note, we will end after Freddie closes with another video. A lot of requests for some more vocalization, some more language from the Alpod. So Howard put together a video for that. So that's how we will end today after Freddie's closing. Thank you guys all so much for watching and your comments and your messages. We appreciate it. And we'll see you next week.
Well, thank you, each and every one of you from Sk'aliCh'elh Tenaut Talk. This is our Tokitae TV for Sunday, March 13th. Remember, next week is our World Water Blessing Ceremony. Again, you don't have to be indigenous. We're all indigenous to this world, and we're doing this all for the future generations. And to bless your water is like blessing your food. It is one of the four key elements of life throughout the universe. And so we're thankful. Again, next week at 12 Pacific, we'll start an hour early. But thank each and every one of you. Haishka Siam Siaya. We'll see you next week. Good night, good morning, good evening, wherever you are around the world. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. And hey, if you got some art, if you have any pictures you want to send Annette or I, if you're going to start an art project, or if you want to join Peggy in just the artwork, that feel free to share with us. We'd love to hear from you. And if you have any videos or want to share anything, please reach out to us. Annette and I are both on Facebook, Annette Martinez, and then I'm Freddie with a PH. PHREDDIE Lane. Love each and every one of you. Hi, Scott. Thank you. God bless. ACM.
You gotta just look.